Now that we've addressed the navigation of the environments, you'll have no trouble creating, configuring, and generating new reports. Web UI reporting is split into two sets, Vision and Insight. This module focuses on the first, which is Vision, which are essentially snapshot reports presenting factual data sets, past, ongoing, and forecasted. We discuss 5 reports, which are the Job Status report, which sources data directly from the schedulers and shows the current state of operations, volumes, and statuses for completed and in-progress jobs. The Forecasted Job Runs report shows similar information, but for jobs scheduled in the future. This report also uses data from the schedulers. The Machines report is comparable to the Processing Load report in the clients and shows the workload for one or more agents. The Job Dependency Graph report allows users to select an individual job in a job stream and map out all of the up and downstream connections for that job. Finally, the Jobstream Status report uses AI data exclusively and is comparable to the Monitoring tab in the clients. You'll be able to see run performance, state, and all of the useful data associated with job streams. The first report we cover is Job Status. It uses run data sourced from the schedulers to show past and in-progress executions. It's one of the most basic and common reports in just about any IT ops software. The report panel has 2 tabs for execution summary and details. The summary shows aggregates in the scheduler by status. Details shows individual executions with all relevance information in each column: date, status, parent, scheduler, agents, run ID, and more. As for all table format reports, use the columns for resizing, sorting, and reorganizing. Certain data points are live links. For example, you can access the job details, the details of the most recent run, or the load associated with a specific agent using the machine link. In the details list, you can click on any of the jobs and navigate the children, predecessors, and successors, and in turn display job details for these as well. The configuration menu has a few important sections. You can filter on the job name and include the data for all jobs when you select multiple jobs. Then you have several other filters on parentage, machine, or agents and schedulers, and you can cross-query AI data using the name of the job streams associated with the job to narrow your search. Then there's a selection panel for the status assumed at execution. Note the Select All, Select None buttons. In the Atomic Scheduler, one very basic report uses a Select All except Ended OK to isolate anything that didn't complete as expected. You might also want to generate a specific report on the unknown status, because unknown is never something we expect. All ended processes should assume some sort of status, and isolating those to troubleshoot could be worthwhile. Forecasted Job Runs is a similar report. It uses scheduler data but shows all jobs scheduled to execute in the near future. This time we get a bar chart with volume scheduled for each time slot. The table report shows all future executions for the selected jobs with a predicted status based on past runs. The configuration menu has what you would expect: a period of time in the future, and the usual filters for job names, job streams, agent, owner, and so forth. The Machines report uses scheduler data to report on workload for a given agents, identified as machines. It's comparable to the Processing Load report in the clients. The area in green shows past and in-progress executions, and the area in blue displays the forecast. In our case, the discrepancy between the two can be explained by the fact that a large volume of executions was created either manually or using certain automation tools like atomic periods, which at the time of making of this course are not included in forecasts. This report is instrumental for load balancing the environments. You can seek low activity time slots in a given day and restructure the workload safely by moving executions on that machine at that time slot. Also, if you're planning system downtime, you can use this report to identify periods of low activity and therefore lowest impact when it's down. No surprise with the Edit menu. You select the utilization period and the list of agents you want to report on. The Job Dependency report provides a map of individual jobs only. It uses scheduler data. You select only one job and the report produces a full map of its utilization, definition, and up and downstream relations. Used in conjunction with AI data, it's able to report on current status and status of the last run. Finally, it comes with powerful navigation capabilities. For example, you can select a job and show the report. You have the option of selecting an adjacent job and display the same map in a new panel without having to back out to the edit menu. This is what the report looks like. The selected job is shown in red, and all predecessors and downstream dependencies are modeled using simple arrows based on the number of levels you've selected. The report is dynamic. You have the ability to select any job or container and do several things. First, you can make your selection the new selected job, which then appears in red. You can also show the job details for this new job. Finally, you can create an additional report panel so that your current and new selections are both reported on the same page. You have click and drag options. You can physically drag the report display and move the objects inside the report for legibility. When you click on the Show Legend button, you'll see the various statuses assumed at the last execution. In order to show the status of each job, you click the Show Hide State switch, which gives you three options. Hide states if you're only interested in the definition, current job state, which shows the statuses assumed at the last run, or current cycle, which shows the statuses at the present time. Finally, you have a zoom function. The edit menu is simple. Since we're only selecting one job, it's best to enter a text string in the job name field, which produces a list of possible options in the Select Job dropdown. The usual filters on parentage, Jobstream, and scheduler are available. This option, All Children Inherit Level from Parents, shows every single Jobstream dependency even if they're obvious. This means that if you select a job which is embedded in several layers of containers, all dependency arrows pointing to the top container are displayed. At times, this makes the graph unreadable by the profusion of arrows. By unchecking this feature, you simplify and streamline the report. The same goes for non-impacting box children. If the selected job has children which are containers with no impact on the job, you can exclude them. Finally, you can select the number of parentage layers you need. Finally, the Jobstream Status report uses only EAI and Jobstream data. It reports on the performance of operations using job streams, meaning time, target jobs, and critical paths. This is a useful report when we need to take a closer look at relative SLA performance. The report is effectively an output of the monitoring tab in the client. The edit menu is where you expect it to be. It has a time span, a Jobstream type selector, and a status selector.